I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Keating,
Present.
Snellings,
Present.
Reinhardt,
Present.
Grader,
Present.
Brown,
Here.
Warren,
Here.
Bikeman, Harris,
Present.
7-0.
Thank you. First up, we have approval of minutes from the regular meeting, May 11th.
Move to approve regular minutes, May 11th, 2026 meeting as approved, as read.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any additions or corrections? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
7.
Thank you. Councilman Schrader, did you want to add a 9th business and discussion item?
Yes, I would like to move to add an exemption for the emergency management UTV for the licensing like we've done with the police department.
Okay. Is that a motion?
It is.
Second.
Okay, it's moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
7-0.
That is added in the business and discussion number 9. We'll get to it here in a bit. First up, we have public comments. If anyone would like to come forward at this time who's not already on the agenda and speak to a maximum of 5 minutes, please give your name, address, and ward.
Mike Detke, 1209 Hometown Drive, Ward 4. I've spoken with several of you about our road issues, continuing road issues with washboards and potholes, and the dust is, after that last gravel, it is horrible in our yards. I mean, it was bad before, but now, I mean, you can't even see the highway from our house. And, you know, a lot of the people in our we were getting concerned about, you know, what the timeline with this was. And I've spoken with you on several of you about this, and understand that it's going to be discussed and voted on tonight. So, but yeah, I just wanted to keep bringing my concerns to you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just want to say I appreciate the citizens coming every night and holding us accountable, because that's one way to keep us on our toes, and I definitely appreciate it.
Right. Is there anyone else who would like to come forward at this time? Okay, seeing none, we'll go to Mandy Cook with Marysville Library Report.
Good evening, Council. It's nice to see you once again. Mandy Cook, Marysville Public Library Director. And I sent you a pretty extensive letter. Generally, I don't do that. Most of the time, I try to keep it to a page. But we have so much going on this summer that I just thought that it was really important that you all see that. For the general public who might be watching online, please make sure you take a look at our Facebook page or our website. All that information is on there. But I wanted to highlight a couple of my favorite programs that I'm really excited about coming up. The first one, of course, is going to be the kickoff, which is next Friday. We were one of the few lucky ones in Kansas to get a performer. I believe he's from Wisconsin, if I remember right, doing dinosaur dimensions. So there's going to be well, they're not life-size, because life-size dinos would be pretty big. I mean, some of them. But there's going to be animatronic dinosaur puppets, which I think are I'm just really excited about it. The kids will be able to touch them afterwards, meet them. The gentleman has been very, very easy to work with, and it's just really exciting that we're on the last leg of him then heading back up to Wisconsin. So I think that's pretty awesome. Go ahead.
What's the date?
June 5th.
June 5th
or
June
5th?
5th.
June 5th, yep, and so his performance is at 11, and then April, Todd, one of our employees, also is going to start the day off with a program called Operation Hatch, so the kids are going to get a chance to kind of open up dinosaur eggs beforehand. We thought that was a perfect kickoff for the summer. So kids don't have to come to both, they can come to one, come to both, but we'd love for them to come to both. Then, I don't know if any of you have dialed into our podcast, Community Narrative. If you do listen to podcasts, please check it out. It is so well done. Dee, one of my employees, my assistant director, she's fabulous at writing these questions. The interviews are all so well done. I have heard nothing but good things from the community members. Thank you very much, Michelle. Sounds like it looks like you.
I do listen to them.
Good. The upcoming one is Chad Kramer. And so it's just so neat because we hear about the family origins of things that have happened in Marysville and Marshall County. We heard from Shelby Temps. We heard from Sheila Lewis, who's not from Marshall County, but it's such a neat thing to hear about the way that they're here. So if you have not listened, if you listen to podcasts and you had not listened to that yet, please do look that up. Let's see, on this next page, Miss Lisa is doing a next level journaling class, and that's going to start every Monday, which I know some Mondays are difficult for you all, but it starts at 5:30, and it's just going to be about junk journaling, and she's going to take people through the process of making a next level journal. So you can come to one, you can come to all of them, whenever, however you'd like to do that, but she's so crafty, and this is right up her alley. We're super excited about that. One of the other things that I'm excited about, just because I'm the one that kind of started help making it put together, is the public library crawl. So you see the pub is in parentheses because we're trying to, make it like it's a library crawl pub style. So there are several different libraries, about 20 different libraries throughout the region that are participating in this. If you go, you can scan a QR code at that library and answer a unique question at that library. You get a chance to win some prizes. And it goes all the way through June and July, so if you happen to just be driving through the town, you see a library, stop and see whether they are involved. It's just a really neat way to remind people that libraries are cool everywhere, not just ours, if I can do say so myself. And then finally, we're going to do a Marysville scavenger hunt. I have ordered 250 2-inch black squirrels that we're going to put throughout Marysville, and people can find them and bring them in and get a prize. And we're just, again, it's just a silly, simple little thing that encourages people to come into the library, encourages them to hunt throughout the town. It'll be in the parks and different places like that. We're just really excited about that. And our summer food service program, we're going to be a distributor for lunches here in Marysville, which is awesome. That's going to start at the beginning of summer as well.
So that's it?
Yeah.
On Tuesday, then they get 5 meals?
That's exactly right. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you for confirming that, Michelle. That's exactly right. So the kids have to be present, ages 1 to 18. They can come and they can pick up their meals. They get 5 meals, and they're different meals. And they get, it's all non-refrigerated, doesn't need to be refrigerated, all shelf stable, including milks. And so they can pick them up, they can eat them all that day, they can take them home and keep them, it's really whatever they want. But the kid has to be present unless the parent or guardian has signed a proxy form. So, and we have all that information at the library. The last thing that I just wanted to make sure you all knew, it's not in this letter, but I jotted it down right before I left. We have a person who just won an award through the school before they closed for the summer. Miss Lisa Deerking won the Friend of Education Award from the school. And I just think that shows you exactly how much we are trying to reach out, trying to work with our schools, and how precious our library really is. This is the second time that a library person has gotten that award. I received it a few years ago, but it's just super cool that we're being recognized for the things that we're trying to do, and just the awesome things that Miss Lisa does. She has, excuse me, such a rapport with the kids, and it warms my heart every time I see it. So I just wanted to make sure that you all knew that. Is there anything else that I can explain to you from the letter, or anything else that you would like to know from me now or next time? All right, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and your support.
Thanks, Mandy. Moving on, we have no notices or hearings. Going to business and discussion items. First up is the request from Bryant Firking in regards to Santa House Park area. I believe there were 2 pieces of information sent out to everyone on this.
The information that was sent out basically covers most of what I know about what is going on. They're looking to have a family gathering in the block of that area. Really, that's honestly all I about know. We did ask for them to come, or somebody from the family to come. And, so.
I move to approve.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next up, we have the alley closure request for the Pony Express reride. I don't know how many years they've done this. It's been a number. Ben?
Hello, all. Mayor and Council. I'm representing Wayne tonight and One Marysville as well as the Pony Barn on this. This is the annual reride that we have that goes through Marysville every year. This time it happens to be in the morning. Every 2 years it's in the morning, and the Pony Barn hosts a breakfast. The museum's open. We'll have the reride exchange right out in front on the street. The National Pony Express will be contacting the city and the mayor, or not the mayor, the city and the chief if needed for any closures or escorts for that. But we're just asking to close off that portion of the alley behind Health First, Community Medical Equipment, and State Farm there for put up picnic tables and have our breakfast out there. We'll have the big stagecoach out there. Just have a good time by all.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, it's moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
You need anything from the city?
I don't think so. If we did anything, would be a couple of barricades to close that off. I can't remember if we requested that in the past.
Do you want cones or barricades, I guess?
Either one would work,
Okay.
just something to close it off. Cones would probably be a lot easier to move.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain. I on that board.
How many you were writing?
Oh, God, no. Since I sit on that board.
Next up, we have the Big Blue Barbecue safety information.
Anthony's here.
What, no, Fernando.
Fernando's on.
Hello, everybody. I'm Fernando Salcedo. Most of you guys know I'm a lieutenant here with the Marysville Police Department. I'm here on behalf of Chief Escalante. We're wanting to request essentially to barricade in front of the bands from 4 p.m. instead of 8. There are some concerns about safety and some foot traffic that are going through there. We had some issues last year with people not behaving as far as going through there as a cruise night. We're not against the cruise night. It's just because of the circumstances and all the vendors that are there, and the purpose is for people to walk through there, and having vehicles coming in and out is just not safe. So that's what we're requesting.
Move to approve the request.
Second.
Okay, so moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstaining.
Okay. So 1. All right.
Thanks, Fernando.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Resolution 2026-05, KDOT Transportation Alternatives Program Application.
So this resolution came from Brett Wagner, our grant writer, for the TA application. It's just stating our formal support of the project before it is submitted.
Move to approve.
After it's submitted, sorry.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, so moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
If I may, an update on the TA that has been submitted, and so has the CDBG application. So hopefully we'll find out on the CDBG within about a month. TA will take longer time though.
CBG was like
I think it's
June,
end
and
of
then-
June.
And then maybe September for the
Something,
TA, yeah.
Something like that.
All right. Next up, we have Resolution 2024-06, condemnation for 904 May.
Kevin's here. I'm Kevin Miller. I'm in here for 904 May. don't know really what you're wanting.
So you worked together with Will to create a timeline for the project.
Correct.
That's in front of the council here, as far as the different steps of what you're needing to do, and then plus the time frame that you expect it to be done. And you're actively working on the project by yourself, and then plus with your kids.
Me and
Is
my
that correct?
boys.
Yep.
Yep.
This was just created, this timeline of improvements that we're,
Yes, this was created.
This
Right.
was
Yeah.
requested by
Yes.
council last meeting.
Yeah, 2 meetings
just
ago.
making sure it's,
Yep.
yeah.
So by the end of 2027, give or take, you should have her done?
Yeah, I'm hoping it's quicker, but
Okay.
2 jobs,
Oh, I know.
different clients,
Yeah.
so Landall's overtime, because we got lots of projects there too.
The recommendation of the city inspector to just due to this, hold off on condemnation proceedings for the time being.
Yeah, I mean, his recommendation is that when a property owner is continually trying to make improvements on the property, we want to try to give them the support to get that done, because
We need housing.
the opposite would be, you know, demolishing the house, and then where are we on property taxes?
Another
for
empty
that?
lot, right?
Yep.
So do we need to set up a follow-up date, just like in 6 months, check in, kind of, I mean,
I think that would be a good
that
idea.
seem reasonable?
Yeah, that's fine.
Move to approve the
Does that-
request.
Does that need to be come in, the council meeting?
Yeah, I think,
Or just check in with Will?
Well, I mean, Will could kind of,
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Will can
we'll
handle it.
keep this up.
Or, yeah, provide it to the city administration or somebody and they can report it back
yeah,
to us.
Will or Benny or Josh.
23rd of November.
So yeah,
Come to that meeting?
yeah, basically, yeah, the end of November.
Okay.
Hopefully, I mean, some of that'll, you'll have time to get to by then, so.
Right.
So I guess, I mean, we don't really even need to approve this resolution, correct?
Not
just be
approve the
holding off.
resolution, you'll want, if you're wanting to give it that time frame, I would move for, an extension of 6 months until we get, for another update in
Move to extend
November.
it 6 months. And
Second.
Okay, so moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
I would say I'm gonna abstain from this vote, but I've known Kevin for quite some time now. He will get it done. He just has a lot of irons in the fire, so.
All right. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin.
All right, up next we have the dust control. This was discussed by the street committee, and kind of hewed this list down to, I guess, the most reasonable batch. And the second table.
Yep.
You received.
Correct.
So, yeah, the street committee met, about 2 meetings ago, 2 council meetings ago, to discuss dust control. We had given a list of all of the gravel roads, within the city, and that total came out to about 28,000. After discussion, the committee had eliminated, about 4 of those roads from, their recommendation to city council for approval. That total comes out to 23,112 and 50 cents. Once again, if approved, we will not be putting down dust control right away. We will be waiting until the roads are ready for this solution to be put on the roads, based off of the recommendation of our grading contractor. And if it is put on, we cannot be using the road grader on it, you know, the next month unless it's in absolutely terrible condition. Otherwise, we risk compromising the dust control. Now, at that time, if we feel like we need to grade it anyway, we will go ahead and then we can look at reapplying if needed.
Move to approve the recommendation from the street committee for $23,112.50.
Second.
Okay, it's moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
I would just say that, we need to make sure that we're keeping Brian and whoever is doing the grading, make sure they collaborate really well, because we don't want to double the work. Make sure if we're grading, we get the spray down when it's needed and not have to come back and do it. That's all I would say.
I would also just ask for clarification on 12th Road. I'm gonna assume it's 36-2 or Limestone?
I believe the area that we got, I'd have to,
4,000 feet.
that's about a,
That's most of a mile. That's gonna be
Okay,
pretty
all right.
close.
I just want clarification for those that
Yeah.
are listening.
Sure, and as far as it goes too, I mean, I know that we have to make sure the roads are ready, but we definitely, I don't wanna wait any longer than necessary to get these down. We're just
No,
getting less goody out of the dust treatment if we delay, so.
But, and to add to that, the public needs to understand that we can't get those roads ready until we get some moisture and we can actually grade it the right way. Because if we just go out there tomorrow and grade the road, we're gonna be out there 2 weeks later. So
Yeah.
patience is a virtue.
Luckily, we have some rain in the forecast, so.
Yeah.
I also just want to say, this is the same contractor who does free dust control for the city on a yearly basis, so I just want to extend a thank you from the city to him as well.
All right, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
7.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Sergeant drilling invoice for well number 9.
Is this a repair or replacement one?
this was the repair to it.
Of the pump or whatever we're gonna keep on the shelf, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what
I thought we agreed to do this, so.
That was, sorry, the last one was the repair to the pump.
Okay.
right.
right.
This one is the actual
Repair to the
pump there at the well.
Oh, this is the new
Yes.
pump, okay.
So how many of these have we done? We've done
This,
9, 10, and 11? Is that right?
I can't remember if we've done 12. Okay.
We did
Yes,
do 12
double,
too?
yeah.
So we've done
Yes.
4 of them now.
So this will, all of them, yes.
Okay,
Yep, and all of them were at their lifespan.
okay.
Normally, we would not do all of them in 1 year. I did take a look at that fund, and so far we are doing fine still
We figure out
for
how
this
long they
year.
have been in the ground.
What was that?
How long have they been in the ground?
I can't remember the exact year that the wells were put in, but these are the original ones.
That's what I thought.
Yes.
Wow.
So that's why they aged out at kind
Yeah.
of the same
Yeah,
time?
About the
as-
same
yeah.
time, that's, yeah. So in another 30 years or 25,
We'll be doing it
Well,
all over
well, it
again.
should hit the same cycle again.
Well, we'll do better about spacing them out. as
Right,
that comes.
anyway.
Yeah, move to approve the payment of invoice number 43545 in the amount of $19,945.18.
Second.
Okay, it's moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
The only thing I questioned was, since it's dated 4/29, if we were gonna be assessed that 1 1/3 interest.
I mean, we'll check in with it, but they have not in general done that.
Yeah, it wasn't on
So,
yours, I don't think
Right,
so.
but that and that,
Right,
Yeah.
but usually it would show on.
Okay.
I mean, they haven't contacted us about this
Okay.
one specifically. And we can submit, we can get a check printed out and it'll be within the month.
Well, and I'm assuming they understand the circumstances
Yeah.
of local government.
Yeah.
All right, any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Next up, we have lagoon and wetland issues. Daniel.
Evening. I have a summary here, if you want to take one. Thought it'd be better to talk in numbers and issues.
I have to keep that one.
So effectively, as you may remember, we're working through a bonding company due to bankruptcy of the contractor that performed the work. So effectively, we did what's called a substantial completion late October of '24, and we have a 1-year warranty period for items to be notified and the three things that were noted was the erosion and seeding issues at the new primary cell out where the lagoons are. That'd be the northeast one, the new one there. And then also we had an internal dike failure of the wetlands area. What we did is we split those into 3 subcells. So it wouldn't be one very large one. It would give you an opportunity to divert to a certain one, let it set while you divert to another one, vice versa. But we had a failure of the internal dike between the middle and the north cell. So all those items, those were the main items there were some cleanup things and they took care of those. But these are the items that we've discussed for quite some time with them. They contacted a local contractor, not directly from Marysville, but from the area, that actually did do work out there. So they were familiar with the project. They did part of the work for the subcontractor already. They were going to take care of all 3 items, and they provided a proposal for that work, and they itemized those 3 different sections. But there were a few things that I guess I would say, wanted to discuss. One is the local contractor made a recommendation for a different seeding mixture to be utilized out there, primarily due to cost. And it's our understanding, both in my discussions with them and with some city staff, that particular seed mixture has been utilized in the city and even on some city projects prior. So there was some comfortability with that. And if you notice on there, so the proposal, they had a breakdown for, we'll fix the erosion issues for $3,500. And then the seeding specs, seeding to the specifications would take about $16,000. This modified quote recommended would be about $8,000, okay? So that in and of itself, those are the 2 items that were out at the primary cell. Then the wetland, they had a estimate for $8,500 to fix that subcell dike, okay? The current issue is the wetland cell has too much water in it. We cannot access to get to the bottom to fix the dike, okay? And this has been going on for some time. I just wanted to bring that to your, if you haven't been out there, plenty full. I would say when they initially filled it, I felt they filled it too high at that time.
Should have seen it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was about 2 feet from going over the top of it.
Really?
You could see it from the highway.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does anybody have pictures of that?
I didn't take a picture of it, I just seen it. You can see it from the highway, you know it's high.
I think the point is if we see that again, we need to get a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was clear up there.
I was here, 3-4 weeks ago? It wasn't near that when I was out here.
Was that after the?
with
That was
them.
after that big rain.
That was out
5
there.
inches of rain,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, well, and here's, I guess here's my concern. It is a concern with that. So 2 weeks ago, it was 2 foot from the top.
2 to 3, I'd say.
And today it's 8 to 10 feet.
Right.
I wonder if that pipe underneath, we utilized the original piping, the force main. I'm almost wondering if there isn't for that, I mean, yes, we had a lot of rain, but that was 15 acres. How much rain did you have?
12 inches?
Not that much in 15
Okay.
acres.
So there's there's no way it should have came up that fast or go out that much. Now, just to be open, that wasn't something that was part of this project. We utilized older material, okay? But I do think it's something that we need to take a look at, for sure, okay? Sidebar, but we can do that. So I have spoken with KDHE on the regulatory side. I asked them very directly, you know, the benefit of a wetland cell is it's what's called a final disposal method, and it's better than dumping it straight into the river. That's the purpose of it. Sure. So while we wanted to, I mean, typically you want to keep your subcells so that you can maintain them. You know, every 5-10 years, you're going to have to rip out wetland stuff and replace it, reseed. That's why we subdivided that, to give you that flexibility. But the main purpose of that is to carry the additional so we're not dumping it in the river. And it's doing that, maybe with a little back and forth, I don't know. But, so on a regulatory side, what I asked them is, okay, we're not going to get to this dike this year. Even if we put no water in there, off the lagoon system, it's going to take long enough to dry that out, okay? We're not seeing it. So if and when it dries out, is it a regulatory requirement that the city fix the dike? You will still have flexibility, hopefully, depending upon what has happened now being underwater as much and maybe some of that fluctuation, but you could still have flexibility. The original failure, you'd have 2/3 that would be connected, the two north cells, and the south cell would be separate. So you'd still have some flexibility. Their response was it would be recommended for your own operation and maintenance, but not required. I wanted to give you that because since we cannot access this, I think we're going to need to go to a cash option, which originally SRF KDHE funding side did not want to do. And the reason why, a big reason why, you are receiving principal forgiveness for this. So 20% principal forgiveness. So if you borrowed, or if you got a cash payout of $10,000 and you put that in your own coffers, you really only borrowed $8,000 of that $10,000. You're making money, and we all know you can't do that on those type of things. So what I have proposed, I'm still waiting on some confirmation for this, but I don't see why this wouldn't work, is if the council decides, and we can talk in more detail, cash and options or whatever with this, if you do take some cash or all cash, my recommendation would be that we would take those dollars, whatever the amount, and we would roll them into the second phase work. So when we request $10,000 from KDHE, but we say we're using the $10,000 that we received, there should not be any question. I don't have direct confirmation on that yet.
I guess clarification for me, what's the second phase of work? Is that
We're screening,
the screening
and the desludging.
So at the end of the day, we have a problem with work that's been done and we need it fixed.
Correct.
Or we can push it on to the next project.
We could look at adding some of that work into the second, into that work on the new contract, if you wanted to. I went out there this evening, okay, and I do realize there's a whole nother issue that has come up. there's been failure of concrete out on that primary cell.
And the drainage, right? Wasn't there a drain tube
Yeah.
that was too high or a cell that was too high?
Yeah. Because it doesn't flow right out there.
They had the big gate in.
They did finally get it in?
No, they had the big gate in, which kept the level at 7 feet.
Okay.
It's supposed to be at 5 feet. So,
So that issue was fixed then.
well, I talked with Delmer this morning, who's now kind of taken over that issue with Tony's issue. He said Tony called him and I apologize, I don't remember if he said Sunday morning or Monday, to ask him to switch that gate. Now, when I was out there, it was rolling water. So I think he's got it switched. So what's gonna happen is that's gonna lower that level by 2 feet. I think it's not gonna fix what's broke, but I do think that was some of the issue, is having that too high.
Yeah, because that was gonna prevent us from being able to drain a cell in order to do maintenance
We
and
were
do
just-
sludging, right?
Yeah, because we were supposed to be able to drain one into 1A, so we could clean one out
Well,
for the desludging.
right. What they have done is shut off one. It's not receiving anything.
So everything's
And
going
all
in
the
1A.
raws going into 1A, the new one, which is intended, okay? That isn't a problem.
That's
But
good.
that is a primary cell, and it's supposed to work at 5 feet. I don't know when the gate was switched, but I did find that out, because when I saw the pictures when Josh had sent, and I apologize, our system changed from focus to unfocused emails, and I guess Tony wasn't a focus email, so. But when I looked at those, I saw that the water is up there at 7 feet. And I was like, that's not where we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be at 5. And my concern is, we get wind. A lagoon, you want wind, so you get wave action. That's why we put the concrete up, but we put it 2.5, 3 foot above, so that when you get wave action, it's hitting concrete, not going over and coming back. I cannot tell, I'll be honest, I've never seen this happen, not to this effect. I don't know, I cannot say with 100% certainty what the issue is, because I can't see the bottom to see. We put a toe in there, so I don't know if it's sheared, and now that southern section is dropping in. But there may be some consideration that the wave action running at that level would get back behind there and start creating some of those issues with that.
Destroying the concrete.
Ty,
So-
can you talk intelligently to this?
Well, I'm just curious, so what was the failure? Do we have any idea what the failure was on that internal dike? And I guess the other question would be is-
Which, are we back to the wetland?
Yes.
Yes.
Wetlands.
yeah,
I think it was just a soft spot. It was a short dike. It's only about 2 foot tall. Okay, 3 foot. The top of that is supposed to be 3 foot, and the water level, normal operation there is about 2 foot, and this is in the wetland. When they filled it originally, when I went out there, because we had to do physical testing, and it was already at the top of that, and I'm like, what are you, and they're like, well, we didn't catch it soon enough, and there was too much water, and, but it has since not gone down, for sure. So I can't, I mean, it's not a liner issue, it's not, that's why regulatory-wise, there isn't a concern on KDHE's side. It was purely done for your operational conditions. And if we don't fix it, that's fine. It's just gonna mitigate that thing. If it ever dries out really well, drive out there with a bobcat and pack in some dirt. I mean, it's not a regulatory dike.
was that dike, like, did we have a 95% compaction target or anything like that?
Yes.
There was.
We do.
And I assume we have passing results showing that, and
Yeah, we went through that at different spots, and,
Sure.
I mean, that probably wasn't a spot we did, but that also wasn't a liner material. The liner material went up the sides and the bottom.
On the exterior part of it, or?
Somewhat on the exterior as well, because we had to rework when we reframed that, because that was already a pit, so.
Well, and I'd be concerned about that other internal, for seeing failure on the middle north one. What about that southern, you know? Are we gonna see that
It definitely
issue there
could
too,
be.
you know?
I will tell you that, initially, and I understand, I'm working with a third party of the bonding. I'm not talking with the bonding typically. Their initial proposal was, we built that dike to specs, so we're not gonna take anything with that. And I'm like, how can you say that when there's a hole in it?
Was it third-party testing, or did they do their own testing?
We did testing, and they also had, Terracon. We didn't do, I don't think we did on wetland, but they had Terracon come in and do, testing, so. Being underwater like it is, I can't tell you what we're gonna see if and when it drains. What I can tell you is they are offering $8,500 because that's what their local contractor, when he looked at it before it was too full, proposed to do the work for.
And the local contractor, I'm gonna assume, is Juniman?
Yes, sir.
Well, I have faith in him, so.
Yeah, and I do too. He is familiar, he did work out there. There were some logistic issues at SRF. They felt that the contractor was dictating to us, you had to do this, and we've got that worked out. So,
I guess, just for clarification, he worked out there because the contractor wasn't getting the work done.
correct.
And he had to go out, and I think he spread straw.
Yeah.
I don't think he did the seeding or the
No,
prep. Yeah,
he was,
okay.
he was helping them in clutch times of particular issues.
Wasn't he the one who came to that meeting that recommended the previous seed?
The seed mix,
The
yeah.
$16,000 mix as opposed to the $8,000 mix?
No, he recommended the 8,000
8,000,
as
yeah.
opposed to the 16.
Because he said it was a better grass mixture.
Right,
than what they-
I remember that
Yeah.
meeting, I just couldn't remember which way.
Yeah, it's definitely proof in the pudding here. Now, the other thing I want to think about or talk about is obviously there's some erosion, and I think it's some because of the wave action. But, you could take the cash or whatever and say, hey, we're gonna watch it, and we'll fix little spots if we need to. That'll be up to you guys, whatever you wanna do.
Some of them spots are 18 inches or deeper out there if you walk the outside of
Some of
it.
them are, yes,
Yeah.
I mean, they need to be corrected.
yeah.
Is that something he's capable of doing?
Yeah, he provided a proposal for the 3,500 to fix those issues, and then he would seed things.
Yeah, I
So-
would say allow him to fix it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't wanna
Like I
deal with
said,
it later.
That was completed in '24, here we are in '26, and we're still got the same problem we had back then.
Right.
And nothing's getting better. Every time we get a big rain, it just cuts the valley a little deeper.
Yeah, I understand.
So just to confirm, you said that erosion on the interior bank, that 3,500, is that coming from the bond company as well?
Yes.
Okay.
That was they provided the proposal from, I wasn't gonna say it, but Juniman.
Okay.
As the contractor. So what they've broken down, and once again, we'll have to have some legal,
Sure.
assistance when we get to this point.
Sure.
What they have said is, if you want to use specified seed mixture at the 16,000, they would do the erosion at 3,500, and they would say, we're not fixing the wetland dike. I'm just telling you, this is what they've said. So that's 19.5. But the other way for 20,000 would be they do the erosion, they do his recommended seed for 8,000, and then the 8,500 would have to be a cash credit.
Oh, it would have to be.
Yeah,
Because he can't.
because the bond company, they want to be done. And, I mean, I think at some point, we want them to be
We all
done.
want to be done.
Yeah, we want it done, we want it to work like it's supposed to.
Right. Now,
That's why we spent this kind of money for it.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and so you could take the whole 20,000 cash. You could contract Juniman directly and have him do it. If and whenever.
But that would
You can
affect-
have them do it, but the problem I see now, honestly, is that failure on the concrete is really gonna create, that's not a condition that he estimated.
No.
So I would almost say that we want them to fix it
Yes.
and provide the
Yeah.
8,500 cash for the wetlands, which once again, isn't really an issue. It's not getting out of it's not gonna collapse the banks or anything like that. We do need to see how and why it's going. There's no way it should go up and down that fast.
But is there a mechanism to take that $8,500 in cash without affecting the current financial obligations that we have?
I guess, what do you mean, for this, like stage 2,
Yeah.
stage 3?
Yeah,
What he was explaining is the interest and stuff.
yeah, what I
You
would.
just, I mean, put it off to the side, basically.
Yeah, you would,
Until that
if you
project.
take a certain amount of cash, okay, you are taking the responsibility of, you are accepting it as is, okay, it's a used car, okay? You can decide if you want to repaint it later, because there are no regulatory requirements that are gonna make you do it. It'll be up to you. But because of the SRF funding and the principal forgiveness is
Yeah.
what they use.
Yeah, that's what I was talking
It's a grant type of a scenario. They can't, you have already borrowed that $8,500 from them and you're paying 80 cents on the dollar. So that's why they didn't want you to do a cash, because that's what they tried to come, they offered 14,000 originally and then 16 and, what I'm saying is, whatever that value is, and if you have other thoughts and say, well, we think it's X, which should be 10,000, this should be whatever. We go back to them, they give you that cash. What I'm saying is that cash amount, we would put in when we do the desludging. If we have a $100,000 invoice from that contractor, we request 90,000 from KDHE and we put in the 10,000, which is, so we can say we're using SRF dollars, that cash.
Yeah, that makes
So there should be no question
That makes
that
more
you're
sense.
getting a deal by getting 80 cents on the dollar for the.
Now, with this, if we did the 3,500 in erosion, the 8,000 for the recommended seed and the $8,500 cash, where are we at with the concrete failure? Is that still gonna be on us?
The concrete is an issue that unfortunately by agreement, we can't tag them on.
But couldn't we say that, I mean, isn't there some causation between the two? I mean,
That,
Yeah.
I'm saying by agreement, we would have to tie it in that way.
okay.
We would
We'd have
have
to
to-
show that's a consequential damage given a previous failure.
Right.
Okay.
I
Now-
think before we make any kind of decision that we need
Yes.
him to get
Yeah.
involved.
Well,
And that would
I
be a
don't think
good
we're
idea.
asking for a decision to be made
Yeah.
today
No,
in general.
But we need you to
How do
help
you make
us with
that?
this.
As long
Yeah.
as we want.
Okay.
No,
Because, I
we still
mean-
need to get this erosion
Yeah.
problem fixed as soon as we can, though.
Right.
Yeah.
Can get worse.
It's gonna get
Or
worse.
it's
not
gonna
get
creep
better.
on us.
Huh?
It's gonna continue to
Yeah.
grow on us.
Yeah.
Right.
And you got till July to, basically July to do that, and anything you do after, August, September, you can't do anything in October and.
Well, actually, the seeding would be in the fall.
Yeah. This
So
would have to
we-
be in the fall.
it
But
has
it's
to
gonna be dormant, so people need to understand there's gonna be nothing growing
Yeah.
until
Yeah.
springtime, so.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think probably the bigger thing right now is to determine, unfortunately, the wetland, I think that's a lost cause. We cannot physically get to it.
Right now.
So is $8,500 enough? And that's what he proposes to do the work, when he planned to do the work. And that's, because that is probably the potential of a cash settlement.
And 15?
And just to confirm, that number, I mean, as far as that procedure, you said that KDHE said that that is a possibility, that we can do that with SRF?
They have not
Okay.
100% confirmed,
Okay,
but we have no other options,
Okay.
quite honestly. I mean, it's underwater.
So in this scenario, because it's underwater, we can't access it. The bonding company can't get people to access it. They don't have divers to go in there and pack it by hand. So is there a chance that that dike is going to continue to degrade more and more and more over time because it's too full?
Not because it's too full, but I will say this. The level vertical isn't going to affect the dike.
It isn't.
What's going to happen is, as it dries out and it gets closer to the top of that dike, you're going to get wave action and it's going to start tearing it out more.
So, yeah, I think we need to ask
when we
for
get
more
down
money.
to the bottom, if we ever dry out with that, yes, it's going to be a much bigger hole than it was.
So theoretically, instead of 2 or 3 feet from the top, there's supposed to be 2 feet max in that
Yes,
wetland hole.
from the bottom, yeah.
So yeah, I would say we increase that 8,500 up to prepare for the damage that's gonna be created when it dries out, and we can access it later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd be, on that
Get to that
southern
point.
internal dike, you know, if we're seeing the failure on the northern one, the likelihood of the southern one potentially having that
Because of that.
same issue.
We visually had that, sir,
That
for
one's-
quite some time, and there was no additional
No issues
failure.
there. Okay, well, that's reassuring.
So that was, yeah, but as we go up and down, I mean, you get 6 inches and you get above it and you get wave actions, we can't really see, but it could start tearing it out. Now, when and if it dries out, okay, your choice could be, well, do we want to spend X amount of dollars to rebuild this dike, maybe it's the whole section, and fix these other parts? Quite honestly, you could go in and take all of them out in a half a day with the Bobcat and be fine.
Just leave it one,
Just leave it
one pond
As
clear
it
across
looks
it.
right now, that's how it's acting right now, and that's
True.
fine on a regulatory side. And I only mention that because I really wanted to make sure that we weren't gonna get in, I wanted you to understand, if it was a regulatory issue, whatever you do now has impacts in the future. I don't see it in a regulatory sense, will not be an issue for you in the future.
Because we have it contained in the wetland.
It's contained by the whole dike system. If we roll over the top of that, now that's a whole another issue, but quite honestly, it's gonna roll into a wetland area anyway around there. I mean, other than public,
Right.
you know, I mean, there's things that we can do, you know, when I met with Tony a few weeks ago, do we put in a pump system and we start pumping it over to the east on that higher flat land, you know, and just start irrigating it to get rid of it? Or, you know, that's what we would have to do to physically get in there and fix that dike.
If we go in and take out all the dikes, and it's no problem with that, what was the reasoning in putting them all in the first place?
For maintenance, because I mean, you typically want to have at least 2 options so you have redundancy.
Sure.
So if one of them's going down, you still have the ability to fill one of them while you're fixing the other. It's not a fix, and when you're reseeding and doing all that, you know, it's not a 2-day thing, it's a 2-week thing, you know.
So if we 86 all the dikes, what position does that put us in as far as maintenance? We have to drain the whole thing to do maintenance later on, or?
Well, that would be a potential, yes.
I have a question to lead into that. City Manhattan, I'm under the understanding that they have somebody come in and pull some of their, I don't know what level of sewage or gray water, we'll call it for lack of better terms, and then they actually spread it on farm ground?
The city of Manhattan owns a few thousands of acres, and they run their own farm. They take all of their biosolids. It's not, this is treated wastewater, okay, is what ends up there. It's met all the regulatory compliance issues. We have the timing, we have everything we need per regulation. But instead of dumping it into the river, we're putting it in here, let it evaporate, let it seep in slowly, whatever.
And I actually, I know of some people that actually have a contract to take some of that. So that might be another option for us long-term, is to
Allow someone to take it off
To
and
take the
utilize
water.
it on their stuff.
utilize it for,
Well, I think where you're going.
you know where
okay,
I'm going.
I do know where you're going. It's not gonna be an issue in the wetlands. If you go out there now and you look at the northwest cell, that's an issue that, honestly, any farmer that's good fertilizer. I mean, it is
You're talking cell one,
cell one.
the original.
We're not gonna see that type of a buildup down there.
Right.
It's gonna be more of a cleanup of the vegetation is warping down and we want it to redo, so we're gonna tear out some of it and put it. So we built a liner at the bottom, then we put 9 inches of topsoil, and then that's where we seeded everything. And then that's where the water would go in there.
I just wanted to throw that out there for the rest of the council.
A beneficial use though, yeah. I
It's
mean,
not uncommon.
no. And I mean, and if you wanna clean it out and the only issue when you're doing maintenance on the wetland site is, well, it's the same in the lagoon site, but you're gonna see it a lot easier, is, you don't wanna get down into the liner.
Right.
You just take out, you could take 6 inches out and you could bring 6 inches back in, just, you don't need to really pack it or anything, and then you just reseed it.
Now, all the vegetation that's currently in the wetland, I'm assuming is probably dead.
We have well, more than likely, I mean, it's been
Submerged
inundated,
for too long.
you know.
Yeah, so we'll have to replant all that then.
You know, yeah, yes and no. I mean, naturally, it will take off too. I mean, the seed that you paid for may not, I mean, I don't think we'd have to go and do as much. I think it would go pretty fast. But if it inundates like it is, it doesn't matter what you put in there, it's not.
Because it's gonna kill it once it
Yeah.
goes over it again.
Right, yeah.
So I mean, quite honestly, I don't want to sidestep anything, but that is a concerning issue to me too. You can't have that happen without some impact. Because there's no water running into that cell. Whatever falls on it or inside of it is gonna be there. You had 12 inches of rain. There shouldn't be more than 13, maybe 14 inches of rise in that from where it was prior.
So where is all that coming from? That's the question.
Yeah. I worry that it's the old force main that was an HDPE that might be compromised somehow. That has
You
a
don't
hole.
think it was any excess flow off the lagoons itself, making its way, fast tracking its
Well,
way
it
through?
could rising. It could rising, okay? It could be, but it can't drain that fast. We have that tested. That is,
That's only an 8-inch drain, isn't it?
there's no outlet. It's a hole. It's a bathtub.
Yeah, it would have to evaporate.
It
or
has to
soak in.
evaporate or seep, and we
Yeah,
tested
there's
it,
no way.
all 3 cells. We tested the middle one, we tested the south one, then the middle one, and I said, KDHE, like, it meets, we have this breach. They made us test the north one too. All 3 of them, we are well underneath the 1/4 inch per day. So even at regulatory, a 1/4 inch per day would be all that could seep. And you're telling me you went from 2 foot from the top to 8 to 10 foot from the top in, huh?
That should take 288 days.
It will take a long time.
Wow.
Well,
I
think
mean, physically, at a 1/4 inch per day, you're not, you would never drain that.
No.
If it's that high.
Yeah, no.
Ever. Well, I shouldn't say ever, but it'd be a lot longer than 288 days.
So I think for this conversation, we're more looking at the seeding and the reclamation of the the banks of the lagoon.
Correct.
I think we have a good proposal, but I would, for the dike section failure replacement, I would probably, double it
Yeah.
and see what the response is, because if it ends up being a quarter of our request, we're ahead. And I also feel that, we need legal
Yeah.
to be very much involved in this.
We need to tie these failures into that
With the
concrete
concrete side of things.
Yeah, we need to do
So-
that.
And, you know, I don't know, I'll leave that up to your council, but it might be, if you look at the, if you look at the, agreement, we have some ways that, maybe we contact Juniman and have him come back and look at this and say, oh yeah, this is a whole different deal. Because that whole I mean, we're talking a lot of concrete that has shifted and cracked. I mean, that's gotta be 100-foot long.
At least, if not longer.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't think Ron's gonna be the kind of guy that's gonna do too much of the concrete.
No, I agree.
No, but he
I
can-
agree,
but
but
he can
even
put
if he
eyes on
doesn't do the concrete, I believe the work that, he's not gonna do the work at $3,500.
No way.
No.
Yeah, no way.
And so, the gist is, so one way you could say is, okay, do the erosion, you guys handle the erosion and the seeding as is, and you let them do it, and they have to figure out what they're gonna do on that side. But we really, I think we really want to have a more cohesive decision on that,
Is that
so.
a conversation that, between yourselves and legal,
Yeah.
that they could have, and
Yeah, I
with his involvement with an assessment?
Right, yeah, I think we, first off, I mean, we need to get moving on it, but at the same time, we need to go to first principles, see the agreement as a whole, then see, you know, what the bond company, how they're, you know, demarcating each thing, and then we need to get Juneman on it to get an estimate, and then counter that with them. I mean, that's obviously a 100,000-foot view, but I think that's what we need to do.
Did you get any, and you may not have, just through your, just what you were explaining, but is there any cost projections on using a pump and, you know,
I
getting
could
that
make some
wetland strained
calls.
out and on top of that
It
flat?
would be, I mean, you could do a 4-inch pump, you know, maybe something that you have, it'd just take forever, and you'd be out there twice a day filling it with gas or whatever.
Oh, so we could do it ourselves, we wouldn't even
Sure.
have to hire someone, okay.
Sure.
So that's an option we
But
probably
that
ought to
would
look at too.
take a long time. But to me, honestly, I have a bigger concern for the wetland with that rise and fall.
Yeah,
Right.
Pumping it out doesn't matter. Now here's the weird thing about that. When I told you, when they initially did the testing, they filled it too high, right? But it stayed there for a long time. I mean, it was like that, it was like that for quite some time, because we stopped putting water down there. Now, I think we can talk with Tony, or maybe Delmer now, but we could talk to see, but you got 50 acres of lagoon out there, 40-plus acres of lagoon out there. I mean, honestly, I don't know that it would fill that much to fill 4, 5, 6 feet. Even if you look at the primary cell, the new one, 1A, 18 and a half acres. We built that as big as we could in that area. If you get 12 inches in that cell and everything else is full, that will run out. That's 18 and a half acres going into a 15 acre. Okay, so maybe we got 2 feet instead of 1 foot. Because well, you don't have 6 feet, and then you don't have 6 to 8 feet, and you don't have 4 or 5 or 6 of it go away in a week either.
So there's definitely more that we need to research.
Yeah.
Work with you guys and find out what's going on.
So I think, I'm willing to do whatever is feasible. I should, I don't know why I don't have it already, but I should be able to get more of a definite, reaction off the SRF and the use of any cash funds that we have.
That'd be highly advised.
I just don't see
In
why that
writing.
wouldn't work. In writing, yeah, ultimately, it'll be in writing. So yeah, I think we can do that. I mean, yeah, there's just a lot bigger issue in that new primary cell with what I saw there this evening. And,
'Cause those other cells have been out there
25 years.
and none of that concrete slid.
Nope. But they usually aren't running that high either. So, I don't know. And, you know, I mean, this is an issue of, in 5 years and you get that all filled in, that wouldn't even be an issue if it does there. But we did have some erosion at the beginning, which gives a little, you know, the Grand Canyon was
The stream at one time.
was a small stream at one time. So, I mean, water has a lot of power.
I know you guys did a ton of testing, but have you ever seen an issue with maybe some natural springs or something popping up that could be
We did
causing
borings
this?
out there. No,
not out there.
no, we didn't see that. Now, I mean, it's all sand underneath our liner. It's,
So when the river comes up,
but it's not gonna come up or go out. That, you have a foot of packed fat clay.
Yeah, the liner, that's what you're saying.
That is not gonna allow water to move up or down very fast.
Where's it coming from?
There isn't enough pressure to do that, bringing it in, and there certainly is enough atmospheric pressure to push it through. And we have the testing, I mean, the ultimate with the lagoon testing, they did testing of materials with Terracon for their own purposes, to make sure that they were keeping things in line, because ultimately, KDHE requires a loaded test. Doesn't matter, they don't have to take one test of soil. But you fill it, you test it, and it's a very precise equipment, and that's a different contractor. It's a proof in the pudding. It's either gonna pass or it's not. And if their purpose, if they wanna take shortcuts in the liner construction, and they spent a lot of money pumping for a long time, pumping from the southern cells into that cell, because they didn't want to drill wells. We didn't want to waste water.
Right.
We had millions of gallons sitting over here that we could utilize. If that wouldn't have met, if that would have failed, they would have been pumping everything out, drying it out, reworking the whole thing. So I know they took a lot of tests, but it was more for their purposes on the liner, just, you know, and we could go in and we could verify some of those things for them, but Terracon's the one that did your original, did the study, the geotech work out there and everything, so that's why they utilize them.
Did the state require a CQA report?
And
for this?
that's what
That
that
is,
report is, yes, off
Do
that
we
testing.
have that report?
I believe that we have
I
it
think you
mapped.
do,
Yeah.
but I can, we have it,
I wouldn't mind just looking it over.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think we got a plan
I think
anyway.
we got something going anyway.
Yeah,
If
Okay.
we can get it executed by fall, at least the wetlands, and
get some
Yeah.
seeding down
get
there.
some of that problem taken care of.
Maybe on some good news, I'd like to jump to something different. We're finishing up the paperwork on the Highway 77 project, the Phase 2. We definitely should, well, we have to wait on KDOT to do the final, but I'm hoping in June that'll all be done. I am expecting, I want to be conservative in what I'm saying, $120,000+ change order, which will come back.
Oh, wow.
So I think it'll be more than that, but I don't want to.
That is.
We're not gonna complain about that.
No,
Well,
that
that's,
is good.
and KDOT requires certain things to always be included, and you bid all these things, and we just tried to watch those and minimize what, we not integrity of, you know, compromise the integrity of the project, but there were things that we were able to work with. One other quick thing that Josh and I talked about, you're correct, the original bid on 36 was 511. We ended up at 482 and that was 4th to 20th for that. And that actually was 16, I think.
Okay.
I think the construction was probably finished in 17.
Yeah.
We talked about. The Jackson South on 77, we talked a little bit today about potential chip seal, something like that. I think that would, it's not gonna fix everything, but it will slow down the degradation to get you some more time through that. That is about 22,000 square feet. You probably ought to figure $3 to $4 a square, plus a little bit for, we'd have to remark it, just as an example. If you can coordinate that either directly with KDOT, with another KDOT project, or be able to work with that contractor on the backside of that, hopefully with economy of scale, you'd be able to get that.
And that's Highway 36, you said?
77.
77.
Oh, 77.
From Jackson to the bridge. We bid that as a full replacement,
That's
but
right.
we
I
didn't
remember
have
now, yeah.
enough dollars at that time, so.
I won't go there.
Any questions for Nathaniel?
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, appreciate you
Good
coming back.
information, thank you very much.
Yeah, just let me know, we need to do a Teams or something or whatever.
Sounds good.
Okay, have a good evening.
Thank you. All right, next up we have item number 9, the waiver Chris mentioned. Chris?
Okay, so I was approached by that county, so we did this for the PD where, you know, we have you have to go to the PD and get an inspection, then you have to go and pay property taxes on the UTV, and then the city has their $100 first time fee, and then is it $25 per year after that for the little license plate tag. So we've given exemptions to all of the, you know, government entities, but we have not given one to the county yet for emergency management, and they're requesting one.
I'd move to approve the request.
Second.
Okay, it's moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next up, we have the consent agenda.
Move to approve consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Next up, we have presentation of appropriations ordinance number 3873.
Move to approve appropriation ordinance number 3873 in the amount of $369,424.63.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Roll call?
Keating,
Yes.
Helens,
Yes.
Reinhardt,
Yes.
Schrader,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Warren,
Yes.
Ferris,
Yes.
7-0.
Thank you. Next up, we have city administrator report. Josh?
Okay, as many of you guys know, the Big Boo Barbecue is coming up here soon, just next weekend. I will be out of town, so Sammy will have the phone if you need to get in contact with anybody. So, you know, otherwise, enjoy the weekend and enjoy, hopefully we'll see many of you guys volunteering downtown around that time. The common consumption area, you guys had approved that a little bit ago. We have applied and it has been approved by the state. So now businesses are able to apply to be a part of it if they are needing to. We do have some information that we need to give to those that are applying, but otherwise they apply through the state since the state has taken over most of the ABC stuff. code books. If you have not, please give them to Carrie if you haven't in the last, I think, month and a half or so. There's a couple updates to be added in there. So you can either drop them off at City Hall or drop them off at a committee or council meeting, and we'll get them updated. Otherwise, Sammy and I are doing payroll clerk interviews here soon, since we went ahead and hired Carrie as the deputy city clerk. And with that in mind, Deb's last day is Friday, so please come in. We want to wish Deb a very happy retirement. She's been here a good number of years, and we really enjoy working with her, so we'll all miss her.
Are you bringing the treats for your own retirement?
If you want.
Okay.
Those cookies.
Yeah.
Don't start the
Oh, the
rumors
oatmeal
now,
raisin.
Mr. Mayor.
And it inspires people to come.
What time does that start?
The details have been sent out in your email.
Okay.
Otherwise, the big news though is the pool leak. Over the weekend, if you go out, you can see that it has changed colors. That was due to no circulation pumps being ran the whole time, so it was not going through the filters. I was a little surprised how bad it had gotten in that time. We have since restarted. We hope to see Energy Center from Manhattan here tomorrow. We'll see how that goes, but based on the information that we've heard, we're working with their A-team, I would say, versus who we have been dealing with.
Do we have a clue where the leak's at?
At this time, we do not. We have worked with Manhattan already. We've worked with KRWA. We have Manhattan Energy Center coming up tomorrow, and we also have another company out of Omaha scheduled to come on Friday, just in case something is not, just in case it's not found at that point. So we are trying to get in contact with different companies to make sure that we're on their radar, get scheduled out ahead of time. So that way, if one does not work, we can go ahead and pivot on to the next.
I'm assuming it's too late for a bonding company on that issue as well.
That ship sailed a
Long time ago.
So, but otherwise, Courtney and I are working a lot together. We're meeting almost daily to make sure that we're going over what our next steps are going to be, what things can we cross off the list, so that way we can continue trying to narrow it down. KRWA, we had Craig Metz up, very helpful. He was able to listen to try to find some spots that it might be leaking. Unlike last year where we could see water coming through the concrete, it's just, nothing. Yes. So we went ahead and drilled holes in the deck to try to probe down under, and no water was coming up. So still do not have a clue at this point, but we'll continue crossing things off. And like I said, hopefully the companies that we have coming this week will be helpful.
Have we sold a lot of family pool passes?
We have not sold any pool passes. We have booked pool parties, and we had booked swimming lessons. Swimming lessons have been moved because they were supposed to start yesterday. They've all been moved to the second group of 2 weeks. We opened up 2 new times. We will see when we get there if we're going to have to move them, if we're going to have to cancel, reschedule, what that's going to be like. At this point, we have not started refunding anything.
Okay.
So I get one thing, I don't know if I'm jumping the gun speaking now or should wait until, it's my turn to talk, but I've had some residents come to me with concerns about the staff not having a job this summer. And if they should be looking for jobs elsewhere if we can't get this resolved in a quicker fashion.
I cannot speak for the individuals who were hired as to what they should do. However, Courtney and I, we've been trying to message and keep them informed as much as possible as to where we're at. So ultimately, we understand that that's a risk, but I can't speak for what each of them should do.
That we could keep them busy with?
We did talk about that, trying to have something available in the meantime. I think it's more like 4 hours for everybody at once, and then there's nothing for a bit. So trying to identify when to bring them in order to do that amount of work. So if we find the leak, and repair it, then we will drain the pool, we will clean, wash it all down, and then we will fill it back up. So in that cleaning phase, there will definitely be a lot of work that they'll be able to do.
Okay. Yeah, I worry that it'll hurt us on applicants next year.
I agree.
I mean,
for sure.
Yeah.
You mean the fact that this happens every single year?
Several.
new leak every time, though. It's not the same leak.
Well,
You could, there's a river that runs underneath that property. You could just put a well and just keep filling it.
We laugh,
maybe it's lagoon leaking into it. I know, but you can't do anything else but laugh at this point.
No, but I
We're-
think
Because
well, maybe
literally
we
it happens
should.
Every year.
Fortunately, we have the funds. Josh and I have been in communication on it, and I'm like, if we have to find a Kansas City, Omaha, Denver contractor, we
have
have
to.
the funds, let's get it done. So that's
Yeah.
why, like Josh said, there's A, B, C, D, and just plow through them, so. Yeah. Anything else, Josh?
That is all I had.
Then committee reports. I know we've had some moving committee meetings because of weather and other things. We did immediately prior to this meeting have a street committee meeting. I know there won't be anything in here, but if the street committee wants to report on the conversation a little bit.
I think the main focus of the meeting was we invited a representative from Hall Brothers to give us some alternative ideas on how to rehabilitate not just the Jenkins Street project, but other streets in town. They came, they presented their thoughts. I can't speak for the other two members of that committee, but I can say that I think it's something promising. I think that we should move forward. Getting some kind of, I don't know if it's an RFQ, an RFP, or whatever. We should get something out there and get something going. The cost of the project would be significantly less, and it could be a good alternative where we could get in the mode of doing 20 blocks a year of rehabilitating some of our streets. The other thing we talked about was the GIS. The question was, are we actively using it? And I don't blame city staff or administration for this. It sounds like we're not. Might be a little bit out of date. Is there an opportunity for us to partner with somebody else to get that more current? Just mainly looking at our street inventory and our conditions and having a good record, not just looking at blocks, but feet, linear feet, square yards, whatever you want to say. At the same time, with some of our other utilities like water, sewer, and stormwater. And then the last thing that we really kind of hit on is before we come up with a good plan, we got to come up with our budget. Right now, most of the money I'm going to say all the money that goes to streets comes out of sales tax, the 1% sales tax that was passed in 2009. And then it re-voted on, and we took the sunset clause out, so it's there. We need to start showing value for it. Currently, just a swag number that was presented to us, we're using about 1/3 of that for our general fund. I stated that, well, maybe we need to cut a little fat in other places and really make a commitment to streets. It's a utility. It's no different than stormwater. It's no different than sewer. No different than our water supply. It needs a source to fund it. Obviously, we're not going to put a gas tax at the pump. So originally, that was what the fund was for, and we need to figure out a way to start using it for that purpose and to show value for the taxes that both the local people are paying and take advantage of the sales taxes that people outside of our community are. And I think that is about it.
So what were the next steps? Did you come up with next steps as far
I think
as?
the next step is going to be between Josh and maybe the legal side of how do we, And I'm gonna let Michelle and Kevin chime in here, but I think the next step to do is first, this project on Jenkins Street. We need to do something about it, and we need to put whatever it is we have to put out there to find somebody that wants to come and do a rehabilitation of that without a full depth tearing the road out.
Yeah, and I think we have to go out for bid, and I'd like to see that done ASAP.
Yeah, very, very quickly.
So that we can get on whoever's wins the bids schedule.
Yeah, the staff's
It's
gonna
gonna
need
be
to know
off
what to
topic.
put in RFQ, what the surface is gonna be, how it's to be done, all that. They're gonna
But do we
need to know
think
that.
Jenkins is deteriorating at the rate it is because of the water issues we have up in that area?
Yep.
Water should run off of Jenkins.
I mean, but you think of all of that water. You know what I mean? Like,
No.
Gotta go
is
somewhere.
there an issue down there?
Is there an issue
issue
underneath
to
with
the
the
north.
storm sewers and
Yeah.
everything
Yeah,
else?
I mean, we all agree that we have a lot of issues in our community that we need to be addressed. It's our job to be diligent, to address those issues and to spend taxpayers' money appropriately. So, I think as far as what that RFQ, RFP, whatever, I think it needs to just be that we want to rehabilitate a street without completely tearing it out. Figure out the legal way to say that. Kevin, I don't know where you're at with that, but.
Yep. Same
And
way.
if this is substantial, maybe we want to
Yeah, we're not
go
gonna
from to 12th Street.
Well, my recommendation is, if city staff, especially in the area of Jenkins, the blocks we're talking about, if they have any recommendation on 2 or 3 additional blocks, go ahead and throw it in there, if it makes sense.
Yeah,
But more importantly, let's take care of this project.
but it might be beneficial to add a block to that project, or,
Maybe the last block on the highway going south on 77.
Yeah, I think you'd have to be careful. Let's get through one project. What was presented to us was coming in with a emulsion.
And a UBAF.
Yeah, we don't know all the technical terms of it. Basically,
Yeah.
they're gonna come in and seal it up so water can't come up, and they're gonna put a overlay over the top. So you have a good street. The overlay is gonna be a little bit taller than the gutter, or the curb. So the water goes to the curb and gutter and not in other places. So,
Sounds like a plan to me. It's at least an alternative to what's been presented.
I still have not done much research on the UVAS. I don't know if other people have resources that they'd like to send on to me. Otherwise, that'll be one of the first things that we'll want to do, is to check in to the cities that were given to us, and then check into those projects where it was used, because I did see it in some CIPs of other cities. It's just about how exactly they're using it, where the right fits are.
well, and I think he mentioned Wichita, McPherson, Salina. So I think you could reach out to city administrators of those cities and get their opinions.
Yep, so that's kind of the next step there. Yep, then you'll come back. Okay.
well,
I wanna keep it going.
The street committee can do that kind of work too.
Yeah, if you want
We don't want
us
to overburden city staff, so if we
Personally, I
can
just want to keep the
reach
ball
out
rolling.
to, get some people to reach out to and just send a very non-biased request to them, and from the 3 of us and you, and get a response. I think that's all we need to do. I mean, in my opinion, we don't want to drag our feet.
Complicated.
Yeah.
Sound good, Josh?
Sounds good.
All right, move on. I have no appointments or wage determinations. We do have city attorney.
Worked on getting the closing done for Kester Block, which I believe all been completed.
Yes.
So, glad we got that done. Been working on a number of projects Josh, then it'll now be the BG consultants conversation and the bond conversation upcoming. So, yep, and I think, yeah, still, notes on Josh's to-do list to get the legal descriptions for those easements. But let's get that, we'll get it passed through.
Okay. Do you have anything you need for executive session?
Yeah, I do need an executive session.
Or, what are we reading?
This.
Oh, yeah, for, yeah, pending
Personnel.
litigation.
Pending litigation.
Pending litigation?
Yep.
How long do you think we need?
Oh,
Nope. Pending
10 minutes.
litigation.
Yes, attorney-client.
Attorney-client, yeah.
either one.
I haven't found it yet.
40 of those in
Yeah,
there.
there are. On matters of demeaned privilege to the attorney-client, yep, listen to work. I move the city council recess into executive session for consultation with an attorney on matters deemed privileged as an attorney-client relationship about litigations or claim against the city to KSA 75-4319B2. This meeting will include the mayor, city council, city administrator, and city attorney. The meeting will resume back at council chambers in
Can we add 2 minutes for the
Let's do
restroom prior to
15
the-
minutes.
15 minutes?
Yeah, 8:45.
at 8:45.
Second.
All right, it's moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
7-0.
From executive session to open session, no binding decisions were made. See any further need for any more executive sessions?
No, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Does anyone else see any need for an executive session this evening? Seeing none, we will move into council comments. Jeff?
I think I spoke my mind. The only thing that, we're gonna have another Parks Committee meeting Wednesday, tomorrow night, like it was at
5:30.
5:30?
5:15.
5:15. I'm gonna guess that the main topic is gonna be funding for, some of our parks. It got brought up in council a couple of weeks ago. It's gonna revolve around the, 0.6% tax that the taxpayers voted on, under the understanding that it was going to be used for general governmental purposes of the city, including but not limited to providing funds to finance construction equipment, operating and maintaining a public swimming pool. Point being, the tax sunsets in 2033. If we just continue to use it as a savings account and pull off a little bit at a time, we're not going to get very far, especially when it comes time to, does it get renewed? We all know that we've had several people, groups, individuals approach us about things that they would like to do in the parks realm, and we need to take advantage of it and get some work done and not hit the general fund or cause any reason for property taxes to go up. So that's all I got.
All right.
Oh, and the storm basin at 1107 Dawson Drive, I believe is the address. I could be wrong. It's been fixed.
How is it performing?
It is performing outstandingly with not that much money that went into it. So you might see a very small bill.
Anything else?
Nope.
All right, Lori.
Couple things. Brought up the cedar trees out on 8th, is it 8? No, what is that, out there by the lagoons? Rollins.
Yeah, 8th Road.
That she made the comment that they were out cutting one day, but she really thinks they maybe need burned. So, we could do that. That'd be great.
Good job for the fire department.
Yeah, I
Fire
feel like we
practice.
discussed that, maybe doing a controlled burn out there and just being done with it. Memorial Day, all the services were fantastic. Cemetery looked awesome. Everything was great. Anybody that played a part in it, great job. And then the big kicker is the lake that I had in my yard last week when it rained. I don't know if that needs to go to the water committee. I don't know who that needs to go to, but it's a huge issue. And I feel like when I sent that video to everyone, they realized how large of an issue. My neighbors have a waterfall in their yard. We need to figure it out. And I don't think it's just my block that is being affected by that. So, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Michelle?
I too wanted to thank, I thought the cemeteries looked great. I heard all of the ceremonies were wonderful. The other thing is would like to see us street committees and our committees keep moving. I think people think sometimes the ball at City Hall rolls a little slow, and it can.
It does.
But on some things, there's no reason for it to go that slow, and I'd like to help push that ball down the street. Or wherever it needs to go. That's all.
Is that all? All right, Chris?
Several things. Sorry to keep you guys longer. Obviously Memorial Day, I don't go anywhere every year because I always help out with the celebrations here in Marysville, and I think it's highly important. Saw a lot of activity at the Spring Creek Bridge with the decorating of the waters. It was a little light this year, but it was still a great ceremony. And all the people involved just take so much time and effort into doing all these things, the crosses, the flags, putting them up, taking them down, high school kids help out with the service flags, and the Boy Scouts did too this year, and they actually did a great job for high school kids who've never marched. They did a pretty good job there this year. I was highly impressed, and it was just nice to see all the people out there and decorating the mound. It's hits the heart pretty good every year, so I just appreciate all those who have a part in that. Number two, I think we need to address our limited camping areas. I think we're missing out on camping in the city. We have a big grass area just to the east of the ball fields, right by a lake where everybody could fish. I think we could turn that into a nice campground with some burn pits and electricity even. I think it would be not cost that much, and we could utilize it as a campground. And also, there were a couple of ladies, I didn't ask how old they are because I know that's rude, but they had a team of horses and a covered wagon, and they were doing the Pony Express Trail in a covered wagon. And they stopped at the horse arena, and because the city doesn't allow anybody to camp there, they were in the potential of getting in trouble because they set up a tent there. Luckily, nobody kicked them out, and I'm very excited that didn't happen. But that's another thing I think we need to do there is maybe allow camping around that horse arena. That's the only place to board or use horses in the city, and I wouldn't expect people to leave their horses there and go all the way to City Park to camp. I don't think anybody do that with as expensive as livestock is, and they were very generous. I mean, the story they told, I was just flabbergasted at these ladies. They were pretty cool. And every time somebody went to use a horse arena, they took their horses out of the arena and walked them around so others could utilize them. And it was really neat. So I think we're missing out on opportunities. So I think we definitely need to discuss those things. Storm inspection damage fees. Okay, so typically if we have a severe storm, trees are ripping services off houses and stuff, they have to come to council and request that they don't get the $30 inspection fee from the city. And typically it only happens when there's multiple people. But I think to be fair and accountable, if someone has storm damage, I don't think it needs to be 20 people. I think anybody who has storm damage, and if the city's gonna do it for everyone, then it needs to be everyone. So I think we need to look at maybe to do it an ordinance or something that allows city staff to say, hey, we can, take these fees away from the inspection. They're already paying to put a service on their house, and it's definitely not cheap. So I think that's another thing we need to look into, just so the staff doesn't, or they don't have to come to council every time. I don't think it's necessary. Highway 36. When we were having that discussion about the long-term projects and stuff, I heard you say something. I didn't catch it till after we had already left the meeting. But it's my understanding that Highway 36 is just not maintenance for us. We actually are responsible for putting down the asphalt as well.
Yeah, so part of what do they call that program where we partner with KDOT? I think it starts at 20th Street and it goes to 4th Street.
The last time that was a Clink project.
Yeah, Clink project. So yes, we're responsible for that section. But that's just a matter of us, wanting to get a project going.
Right. No,
Now, anything up to there, that's not our responsibility. That's KDOT. I mean, up until, if you're coming from the east, up until you get to 20th Street, that is KDOT.
That's KDOT.
Yeah,
Correct.
so that's where you have to grease the wheels of your elected officials, other than the ones in this room.
So I just wanted to say, when you guys are thinking about the long-term projects, keep that in mind.
It has to be. It has to be, because that's the premises for everything, is that we take care of our best streets first and then start focusing on everything else, and create a solid maintenance program that city staff does.
Yep, absolutely.
And then follow through with it, so.
Yep, so thank you for that. Just keep that in mind. And then I was happy to hear Jeff say tonight that when we do the RFP for the Jenkins project, that we not that we just say, bring whoever wants to bring an idea. I appreciate that, because I don't think we should limit it to one service or the other. I think we should have all ideas and give everybody an opportunity, no matter what the service is, to correct the problem at the city's best interest. And Tyler, I know you have some experience in this with the way that Jenkins is and the concrete. Could there be an issue with the stormwater issue, or some leakage or something that's causing fluid from coming up underneath?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a transportation engineer by any means, but, yeah, I mean, 100%. I mean, that stormwater tends to be the root of all causes with, infrastructure issues.
And we have a lot of that.
Settling, et cetera. It's usually caused by water. So, yeah, I mean, I think we need to, from a master plan standpoint, it needs to be not just the streets. We need to look at the subsurface infrastructure, whether it's, getting a camera down there to take a look at what the heck's going on.
And don't
But
we have
something's
one?
got to be done with that before, start from the ground up, So, yes, looking at the sewer system needs to be a priority of that master plan.
Perfect. I actually went to the street committee meeting. I'm not a member, but I went to listen, because I'm just trying to get a hold on everything that's happening. And Hall Brothers came, and the idea they came up with actually sounded really reasonable, cost efficient, but I just want to reiterate, we need to keep in mind all the aspects of it. I know, when you look at a $500,000 project and someone comes in and says, well, I can do it for $100,000, you're going to want to jump on that. I would just,
But it's a red flag, too.
caution, just make sure we're covering all the bases before we make those final decisions. But it's good to see that we're going to be making some headway, and the street committee's going to be spending hopefully a lot of time coming up with a plan. So I'm excited to see it.
Get to know each other.
But
I got nothing better to do.
that's all I had. Sorry, guys. Thank you.
As far as the camping spots, that's something that's come up before a little bit. I know I brought up some years ago, we have those spots between Elm and Walnut along the 7th Street corridor where they use them for the Big Blue Barbecue. We have electricity there. I'd like to see us put some trees there at some point, but try to kind of make that more park-like. But I still think that it wouldn't be unreasonable for us to just change our rules to allow people to use those camping spots in the same way they use City Park. Honestly, I'd rather have some more campers there and less in City Park in the perfect world.
Yes.
And that's still downtown, so maybe that's all something we can get on the parks, I suppose.
Parks Committee, yeah, that'd be great for them. Yeah.
For the next committee meeting. Seem reasonable? All right. Kevin?
I have nothing tonight, sir.
Oh, rarity. Ty?
Yeah, a few things. First, we covered the pool staff concerns, keeping them busy, and then Lori brought up stormwater concerns at North and 9th Street, so don't need to talk about that anymore. It was brought to my attention that there was a water fountain at the Lakeview complex before COVID.
Yeah.
And there no longer is one.
Yep.
I don't know if we can
Yep,
take a look at that.
we have already looked at a model. I can't remember. We went to the Parks and Rec Committee. I can't remember where it was after that. Yes, but we were, and that was this year, so we are looking into it. Oh,
Perfect. The street sweeper, I don't know how frequently the street sweeper's out, but making sure that they're going all the way up on 12th Street to the very end, that dead end. Sounds like maybe they've been missed the past few times, so. And I think that's really all I've got. Yeah, that's it.
All right, thanks, Doug. Sheree?
The cemetery and all the flags and everything for our veterans are lost and fallen, absolutely beautiful. And concerned citizen with water flood in her backyard, it was almost deeper than our swimming pool. You know, that shouldn't be happening, it should not be happening to somebody. We need to figure out where that water's coming from that fast. Something's either plugged or broken. It's almost like 15th Street by Nordis is what it looks to me.
That's what it looked like.
Did you go look at that sinkhole?
No. Sorry, I pulled away the next place I went and stopped, and I drove by yesterday.
So yeah,
and
if
thought
anybody
about
gets really bored on the west side of my fence on the north side of that maple tree, go check out that sinkhole.
the
I
side
had
of
two
your
of those
fence.
in my backyard that came and dug a little bit up on. Don't think you got, probably, no way you dug deep enough to see what the storm sewer looked like
Sounds
in
to me
there.
like it might be close to the problem. You got a sinkhole.
It's huge. I mean, these are massive sinkholes that anytime my husband and I are doing yard work and we find rocks, we're throwing it in the sinkhole. Because what else do you do? Somebody's gonna get hurt.
Your house may end up in it.
You know, and there's a lot of kids that ride their bikes around that area, and I'm like, you know, and there's a lot of them that'll just go right, well, before I got the fence, they would go through my yard, but now they just, and I'm like, somebody's gonna get hurt.
That's a big loss.
But that's all I have. Hope everybody enjoys the car show next week.
Oh yeah, if anybody wants to volunteer, let Ty and I know.
I'm already down, sorry.
Email Wayne.
Yeah, I'm like 9 to 1.
I did have one more thing. With the street sweeper, can we ask them to hit the bike lanes too? Up by the Catholic cemetery?
On North Street?
Okay. Yeah, there's quite a bit of sand and stuff. I know a lot of, I mean, even I, slipped my back tire on that. So I don't know if that's something the street sweeper could handle, but that'd be great if we could. Thanks, sorry.
Okay, I don't have anything else.
Move to adjourn.
It's moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Opposed? We're adjourned.